Now into the chorus of the song. Up until this point, we haven't done any percussive work, it's all just been fingerpicking and tapping. We start to add in a bass drum hit on the body of the guitar just here. This is in tandem with some of the picking that we were doing earlier just here, so it's similar kind of movements. To do this takes practice, and it takes quite a lot of time to get the coordination between the movements up. When I first started doing this, I found it almost impossible to do some of the movements which I now take for granted, and I'm very aware of the fact that this is actually a rather difficult thing to do, although it's kind of a basic technique to facilitate other things. It takes a lot of time to get it. We're going to be doing the thumb. I do it on the bridge of the guitar, and the fingers on the right hand are going to be picking notes, and you're going to have to watch very carefully what's going on. This is perhaps easier to see in the tab because I've got X's to mark the percussive beats that I'm doing, and you'll see which notes those sync up with or which notes they come in between, and that will allow you to slow it right down and see that you're doing that movement and then that movement and then something else. So watch the video, but very much look at the tab for this and try to work it out from there as well, because that might well be easier. Having never really learnt something exactly like this, it's difficult for me to say because I just kind of made it up as I went along. So, again, left hand holding down an E minor with the little finger on the 3rd fret just there. So there's quite a lot of risquado-esque strumming there, and that's just flicking the fingers out. That's fairly easy to do, and it's a good place to start. So you just do the simple beats with From there, you can start to just highlight some of the E string and B string notes as you go through. So just strumming down and then picking up, just to get used to moving in 2 directions whilst you're thinking about all of this other stuff. So we're going to do some of the more complicated beats now. This is slightly counterintuitive because you're trying to do a percussive beat, and it's immediately after you've picked a normal beat, and sometimes it's actually at the same time as you're meant to be striking a melody note. In order to do this, we have to really carefully coordinate the movements that you're doing just here. The most complicated one is the slide from 2 to 4. So we're just going to look at that first. I know we haven't gone through from the beginning, but this is something you're going to have to practice a lot, so start at this point. We're going to slide from the 2 up to the 4. Now what I want you to practice doing here is actually picking that by using, I think I use my 3rd finger, and flick the 3rd finger out like that. So that was a bit ropey. It's kind of like a little strum that you're doing, but just on one string. Now what you've got to do is kind of an explosive movement. If you follow my percussive guitar technique series, you've seen this explosive movement when I've been strumming chords just here. But now you've got to apply it just to a single string, so it's much more refined. Luckily, you've kind of got your hand in a position where it's using the bridge of the guitar, which actually helps because you change the angle. If you're doing it just here, it'll be... No, actually that's not too bad. You could also do it just there. I do it just here anyway. So let's step back from that and go through from the start. Strum down, melody notes held down to 3rd fret, bass drum hit. At that point my little finger pulls off to an open. This is the beat that we're going to have to do with this 2nd fret held down. slide with the 5th fret, and then we hold down the 3rd fret on the A and the 3rd fret on the E string. This is my 2nd finger and 3rd finger. So that, plucked with the thumb and the 3rd finger, slide just the E string note, melody note, up. And that goes to the 5th fret. It's a very, very fast movement. It's that kind of, I don't know, almost yodelish sound that she does in the song. So we get... Shreds your finger when you're doing that. So if you're going to practice this a lot, I would recommend, I don't know, buying some new fingertips or something. And then, 1st finger hammers onto the 2nd fret of the E. And at this point I'm playing the 3rd fret on the E, the 3rd fret on the B, and I'm playing an open on the G. And my 1st finger is going to be hammering onto the E string a couple of times here to give you that repeating da 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 motif. Let me play it through from the beginning up to that point. And then the D is pretty easy because it's just strummed. The other chords more difficult because you've got the melody notes all over the place. So in that section, when we're playing through, the bass drum during the da 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 section happens at the same moment as you hammer onto the 2nd fret.